we have two exceptional speakers who will be taking us and facilitating the session for us today. We have Dr. Ibrahim Yusuf and Dr. Rachel Delamy. But before we start, we'd like to introduce ourselves in the chat box. Kindly drop your introductions, where you're chatting from, where you're joining us from, your name, your company, and your country. Let us engage in the chat box as we engage now. Thank you. So as we are engaging, let's keep the engagement coming. As we are engaging, I will take us through the agenda. For today, we have the welcome and introductions, which is already ongoing. Then we followed by about AFC and unveiling the top scholars for this week, for last week rather. Then we have the speaker's presentation, next steps, which includes the membership drive, the portal walkthrough, and the closing and group photo. So like I said, please keep the conversations going, engage in the chat box. Let's know where you're chatting from. I see Johnny Kako. Let's say from Zambia. Rachel from Benue, Nigeria. Welcome everyone. Please keep engaging in the chat box. Thank you. Adewi Digbe from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, Precious. Keep the conversation going, guys. You can also engage using an emoji to tell us how you are feeling. Welcome to the session for today. Okay. So introduce yourself, your name, your country, and your agribusiness. Feel free to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs as well. You can also drop links to your social media, to your company website, where other people can engage and connect with you. Let's keep it going, guys. So I'm experiencing a bit of technical glitch on my hand, so I might not be able to put up my video for long, but let's keep the conversation going. Yes, as we engage, also use a post check to tell us how you are feeling at the moment. Use an emoji in the chat box to let us know how you are doing. For our folks in Nigeria, how is the protest going? Hope it's been a peaceful protest so far. Our colleagues and in like-minded entrepreneurs from other parts of the country, let us know. Our folks in Kenya, how is it going? Our folks in Gambia, how is it going? Our folks in the western part, in the eastern part, and the southern part of Africa. Also in the northern part, how is your day going? Please engage with an emoji. Thank you. Keep it coming. Augustine from Ghana, welcome. Let's keep it going, guys. So let's dive into today's session. I'll be talking about African food chain makers for some of us who are on this call and know little or not so much about African food chain makers, AFC. AFC is a non-for-profit organization that is focused on scaling entrepreneurs, and we also like to create feasibility for entrepreneurs. We are a community hub that helps to provide community support, data opportunities, visibility, and also learnings and trainings for entrepreneurs across Africa. Presently, we have a membership reach across 43 African countries, and we also have entrepreneurs that are looking to scale their businesses, which is what our primary focus is, to help these entrepreneurs scale. And we have a long-term vision of seeing about 1 million entrepreneurs scale their businesses and are being recognized globally. And just to add to what we do at AFC, we also have our membership community. We have our programs community. Brace is just one of the programs we offer at AFC. We have other programs which we implement at AFC, program focus that implementing exporting opportunities, creating market linkage for entrepreneurs. We also have the Leading African Food Women Fellowship, where women who are making exceptional activities and contributing to the global agri-food space are also connected to the fellowship. It's a way where we can offer mentoring sessions for entrepreneurs in the female landscape as well. So having said that, we would like to move into today's session, and we would like to present our speakers. The first speaker we have today is Rachel Delamy, an agro-processing incubation specialist, proprietor of Fikelala Advisory Service. So I would like to read out her bio. Rachel Delamy is a forward-thinking agri-industry consultant, bringing over 17 years of expertise in agro-processing development and project implementation for emerging farming and agro-processing sector businesses in Eswatini and KwaZulu-Natal of South Africa. Rechi has extensive land reform experience, which involved the transfer of land to previous disadvantaged communities and individuals in the Southern African sugar industry. She cultivates rapport with individuals to optimize project goals and outputs, resolve complex problems, and deliver innovative improvement strategies. She's proficient in strategic planning and business development. More recently, Damini has mobilized women in crafting arena to respond to the demand of bespoke fashion ranges with an emphasis on crochet, knitting, and beadwork. Thank you so much, Rechi. And as I leave the floor open to you, please kindly confirm that you can unmute and speak and begin your presentation.
Good afternoon. Greetings to everybody. I am Rechi Dlamini, and I am in Eswatini. I don't know whether you want the full presentation or just a summary.
The full presentation will be fine, Rechi. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let me just share.
Welcome to today's live study session. Kindly give me a minute to introduce you to our learned colleagues on the call. So Dr. Ibrahim is a consultant at SAE Consulting. He's an expert in livestock with over 8 years of experience. He's an environmental protection enthusiast and a climate-smart agriculture advocate. Currently, he works as a livestock productivity improvement consultant on the Advancing Local Dairy Development Project Aldin at SAE Consulting. In his role, he provides support on various fronts, such as social and behavioral change, strategy development, inclusive business models, stakeholder engagement, program management, and coordination. His primary objective is to drive innovation, enhance the productivity and livelihood of smallholder dairy farmers across the country. He is passionate about international development and diplomacy, fragility management, and social cohesion. Prior to joining SAE Consulting, Ibrahim worked with German Development Corporation, GIZ, International Humanitarian Founded. He worked on a number of donor-funded projects in the humanitarian and developmental sphere, including the World Food Programme, BMGF, European Union, and German governments. Ibrahim is a registered veterinarian with the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. He has attended a number of professional courses and trainings, including cooperation in complex environmental management adapted to specific contexts with capacity works, steering competency with Lego Serious Play in Bonn, Germany in November 2022. He holds a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine and a Master's of Veterinary Pharmacology and Toxicology from the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for this wonderful bio, and we will open the floor for you to give your presentation. Welcome and thank you so much. Dr. Ibrahim.
Hi, Nosa. Good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm if you can still hear me. My network keep going on and off. Apologies. It's a trying moment for most Nigerians, especially the network who've been having some downtime in most of the network service providers. But please just confirm if you can hear me. Let's just take this moment to see if we can able to pass out some messages to the audience. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, Dr. Ibrahim, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah. So, how many people do we have on the call? For those that have actually gone through the module, do we have quite a number of people on call? Approximately 20, 30, 40, 50?
So I can't say for sure, but I know majority of the participants of this call have gone to the module, so they can indicate by giving a thumbs up on the chat box, let us know, or it should be more than 30.
Okay, so I've started seeing some thumbs up on the call. Yeah, so the module basically is on livestock sustainability practices or climate smart practices in livestock production. So three things very important or key in livestock production as relates to climate change. Number one, the focus should be that we understand that livestock production contributes significantly to climate change. Number two, there's also an opposite effect whereby climate change also affects livestock productivity. The number three is also to look at what are the adaptive and mitigative practices in livestock production, looking at the climate or the environment. So it's important to uh, take cognizance of how our production system affects the ecosystem. It's important to adopt practices that are friendly to the environment. And then in the other way around, these practices should be sustainable practices that are eco-friendly, and then you are able to also make profit from what you do, which is also the bottom line of production or production practices. Looking at the management practices, what do you do to get your profit and then do not cause harm to the environment? So these are the key points of discussions which we need to actually put in place. One of the very important practices is to look at the, the type of production system that we do. How many number of livestock do we keep? Do we actually go ahead to keep 1,000, 2,000 livestock, be it poultry, be it sheep and goats, be it cattle? uh, or do we actually also reduce the number or reduce the size of livestock we keep, and then we are cognizant of high producing livestock whereby we can get almost or similar or even more than what we get when we keep high number of animals. So in production system we look at the type of species, or we look at the breeds that we keep, that highly prolific breeds that are climate smart or that are adaptive. They are disease tolerant. They give you high yield in terms of either meat production, egg production, milk production, depending on what type of livestock you keep. Or let's take cattle as a case study. If you are keeping cattle, for example, you are keeping a dairy cattle for production of milk, you look at the practices that we have, especially in Africa or narrowing down to Nigeria, whereby you see people keeping maybe 100 cows or 200 or 300 cows. But what is the production system? What volume of milk are they able to give you? Are they giving you just zero point 0.5 liters per day, 1 liter per day, or even on the maximum where you have 2 liters of milk per day? Now, if you reduce the number of animals that you keep and you are able to get exotic breeds that are able to give you maybe 20 liters, 15 liters per day, you will see that one of such cows will give you an equivalent of what 10 of those other cows are giving you. So by so doing, you have reduced the number of cows that you are keeping, the space management. With just little space, you are able to keep those highly productive animals, and then you spend less on feeding, less on medication, and also less effects to the environment in terms of greenhouse gas effect, in terms of polluting the environment, in terms of also making the world a better place to be. That is by looking at the sustainable practices whereby we have less production of greenhouse gases such as methane and the rest of it. So these are some of the things we need to put into place, or we need to actually understand about sustainability practices and climate smart practices in livestock production. So I will stop talking. I will focus also on the participants to give feedbacks on the modules they have gone through. or if you have questions or you want to contribute to the discussion, feedbacks, this is the time for you to hear your view and make some contribution to this discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. And I would like to confirm from my colleagues also if Rechi is on the call. Do you have Rechi on the call? If not, we would like to move to question and answer.
I'm available. You had
Okay.
muted me.
All right, thank you. Please kindly give us your presentations.
Thank you for the opportunity. Is the presentation showing on your side?
Yes, it is.
And am I clear?
Audible, very audible.
Okay, thank you. So there are various mitigation strategies that we could employ. They're energy saving, energy smart, circular operations, zero waste, green storage, eco-friendly packaging, labeling, climate resilient infrastructure. And then in terms of adaptation strategies, there's renewable energy, biocoating, solar power processing and dehydration, water management, and other options. Moving along, we have, in terms of energy smart technologies, there's precision agriculture, which enhances optimal resource usage and use. This is where we're looking at your high-end tractors that are satellite enabled, and they guide how much fertilizer you put at a particular portion of land instead of just putting the same quantity all over. So this reduces your wastage, but also enhances your yields. And then solar energy reduces your reliance on the national grid. Depending on where you are on the continent, some countries have more reliable power supply than others. So you want to be less reliant on something that somebody else controls. And then energy efficient equipment, this then reduces your usage of energy. Then you have, if you put plants in a building, depending the quantity you put in a building, you can actually reduce your greenhouse gases. First of all, it also reduces the need for air conditioning. That you have to work with your architects to get it right, obviously. Moving along. So the example I have here is the heat exchanger option, which I was privileged to be part of. It was installed at a dairy in an area called Moy River in South Africa. So as they reduce the heat from the milk, because the milk temperature has to be reduced before it goes into the tanks, that heat extraction would then go into the heat exchanger, and that heat would be used to heat the water for cleaning the dairy parlor. So instead of using electricity to heat the water, they're using the heat that they extracted from the milk. So that is essentially a zero waste solution. And then circular operations. So you have where hotels, some hotels on the African continent, as well as around the world, they have taken organic waste and created worm farms, and that liquid fertilizer is used in their own vegetable gardens so that they are not adding to the, the waste dumps. So it becomes like a circular operation. There's nothing going out. You're not adding to the waste dumps. You also can generate biogas from animal waste on the farm, and you can use that for heating. You can also use that gas for domestic use as well. You then want to look at the repair and maintenance of equipment as early as possible so that it is usable for longer. You save quite a lot of money. A real example of a circular operation is Airbnb. That company uses people's existing facilities they don't own any facilities of their own, but they are extending hospitality services. In terms of zero waste, yeah, this is the ultimate that we all want to push for, is composting everything in your agricultural operations, as well as other things that you can do. For example, the real life example I have is briquettes from agricultural waste in Malawi. That is an alternative energy. It reduces costs. It also reduces deforestation. Green storage, here you're looking at less and less usage of paper files to more and more usage of cloud storage if you can, as much as possible. I don't know about you, but I have purchased less and less books, physical books. I now have more ebooks that I then travel with one gadget. I don't have to carry many books. All of the books are on the gadget. And the real life example I have is an offsite virtual storage, backup storage for an agribusiness development agency in South Africa. Eco-friendly packaging, here's the use of biodegradable compostable materials or reusable packaging where possible. I have an example there, the tried and tested milk can, that obviously you have to be meticulous in the hygiene of it, the cleaning for reuse so that you don't have contamination when new stock of milk is placed in it. Climate resilient agriculture, this is looking at whatever will reduce losses due to adverse weather patterns, drainage management, as well as hail netting for high value crops. So you have an example there of hail netting over an orchard. Obviously, the soil parts that are covered by hail netting will not be affected if there is hail. And then adaptive strategies. This is where energy is created from biomass, geothermal energy, or solar-powered water pumps. So the example is a waste-to-energy plant in Copenhagen, Denmark, where they have built it on a waste dump, and then from the gas they generate the energy. Biocoating, this is where the seed is biocoated, so it can remain dormant in the soil until moisture is available. This is most useful where, you know, you're not sure when the rain is coming, but you know that your seed is stable in the ground until such time there's sufficient moisture for germination to take place. Solar power processing and dehydration. Many of us are familiar with, you know, regular domestic dehydration. You can take it to a higher level and make it more industrial. Water management, drip irrigation, rainwater harvesting and storage, simplified packaging design and labeling, as well as mulching to reduce your moisture losses from the production process. Other options are natural cooling systems in infrastructure design, insulation to reduce energy usage, intercropping to reduce pests, and fertilizer usage, conservation agriculture. So the example we have is agroforestry for water conservation, planting trees alongside crops to reduce runoff and reduce erosion, as well as improve water retention. So these are the many options that are available. Obviously, with time, there'll be even more that people are developing around the world. Somebody has raised their hand. I'm done with my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rechi. And okay, I see Salisu and Zaho, but can you give us a minute before I call on you? Thank you for that wonderful presentation, and Dr. Ibrahim as well. Thank you. So we move over to the next section, which is for our participants to ask the questions, whatever questions they have for you. this is the time for you to ask it to get more clarity and more understanding of the topic. So I will start by calling on Salisu. Please ask a question. Kindly unmute and ask a question. Okay, Mohammed. Mohammed, kindly unmute and ask a question. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Goes like this. The question is for the first presenter. I hear that from the modules and from what he said, that most of the livestock contributions to greenhouse emission, especially in form of the methane, which is from the bleaching through the mouth. So my question now goes like this: if we look at it that the bleaching from the mouth of a cow contribute to greenhouse emission, what about human being too? Just like the CO2, we take in oxygen and then we breathe out CO2. Does it mean that we too, are we not contributing indirectly or directly to this emission? For the case of the cattle, you say reducing the numbers can be an adaptive or mitigating way. So I now just see it because it's a question that we can hear from people, that what about we human beings? Are we not too contributing in this system through the breathing of CO2 from us? That's my question.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think that question was directed to Dr. Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can. And proceed.
Okay, so thank you for the question. So in terms of bleaching, which you talk about, or even from the cattle dung, where it contributes to methane gas emission. So basically, yeah, when you look at it, it also depends on what you eat, right? In humans, also we say you are what you eat, right? So basically, it's just to look at what's the quality of the diet that you take as human, right? So various activities also contribute to climate change or greenhouse gas emission. So there's no theory that will tell you that humans does not also contribute to climate change. So it just depends on the quality of food you eat, and that's why even in the livestock practices, what we talk about is also the quality of the feed or the fodder that we actually give the livestock to actually consume on. If you go through the model, we talk about less grain and more fodder, because when they consume more grain, there is more fermentation, and then the higher the fermentation, the higher also the chances of bleaching, and then you have these high gas production, which will result to emission of more greenhouse gases to the environment. So it depends on just the quality of the feed and then the fodder that they consume. The better the quality, the less the emission of greenhouse gases to the environment. In humans, the same thing. So you see that you consume or you take a balanced meal or a better meal, then there are less chances of you actually contributing to methane or greenhouse gas emission to the environment. So the better the quality, the lesser the chances of emission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. So this is just a follow-up, and I hope that answered Mohammed, that answered the question. But this is just a follow-up from another participant. Doctor, could you elaborate more on poultry farming in relation to climate change and its mitigation and adaptation strategies? So I think this person was not able to hear you clearly during your presentation. So I was asking how you can elaborate more on poultry farming in relation to climate change and its mitigation and adaptation strategies.
Okay, thank you very much. I was happy the second presenter did justice to the adaptive and mitigative practices, which is a general practice both in livestock and even in crop production. So basically, when you look at also from feces produced by poultry, right, and so one of the ways when you look at mitigative and adaptive practices is this issue of waste management, right? Waste management and then biocircular economy, whereby most of the things that we consider as waste in the landscape are also cycled back into the economy and then utilized, right? Either for energy production and the rest of it. So, and when you look at it also in those days, what are the type of resources that are being used in the poultry pen? You take, for example, you see things like the kerosene lamp that is used in those days as a source of incubation, whereby it's used for generating heat energy for newly or day-old chicks that are being brought. But as time goes on, you'll see that you use high efficiency bulbs or low efficiency bulbs that have less chances of emission of radiation to the environment. So these are some of the practices in poultry production, and then also you tend to also buy or look for the good breeds, right? Those breeds are tolerant, disease tolerant, also have lesser chances. They have what do we call it again? They have these they're able to transform the feed they consume in a better way, high energy efficiency or high digestibility, the efficiency of uh, metabolizing the feed they consume. So there is less fermentation, and then at the end of the day, they produce just less effects of they contribute less to the ecosystem in terms of greenhouse gas emission. So those type of breeds are some of the breeds that we can actually also um, buy to stock our pen when we embark in poultry production. Importantly, is waste management. Waste management it's a very important aspect in terms of mitigation and adaptation practices for climate change or climate smart poultry production. So these are some of the things that you can embark on in terms of poultry production. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. Yeah, and I agree with that as well, because I remember when I was still back in secondary school, I go for excursion. Most of the people we visit then uses lantern for heat management, but now there's been a lot of improvements in that aspect. So these are some of the mitigation strategies you can adopt in a poultry farm using low efficient or high efficient bulbs to generate heat for the poultry beds. Let's move to Tamanga. Kindly unmute Tamanga to ask your question. But before Tamanga speaks, I think he's having difficulties on meeting. I saw a question that asks, can I use poultry waste to generate biogas?
Very well, very well. I think I saw that in the chat box. Somebody have even um write a comment on that. So poultry waste is used for generation of biogas, just like uh cattle waste is also used for generation of biogas, and then they can also be used for manual production, whereby you use it for your crops. So that's where waste management comes into play, and then biocircular economy, whereby you actually make use or cycle them back into the economy to generate even money or to generate energy for use in the same landscape. So it can be used, no doubt about that.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. And Kamanga, do we have can you unmute now? Mohammed, I see you have a follow-up question. Kindly unmute and ask your question. Ken, you will go next. Let's Mohammed takes his question.
Yeah. Going through the modules, I was able to learn that just like the greenhouse emission is contributing a lot, especially globally. But my question is this: I just want to know the level of the formalization of the policy, or is there any sanction for some company that are contributing a lot, especially in terms of these greenhouse emission to the country? Take a look. I have a case study of a place here where I am in a lorry, Kwara State, Nigeria. There's one coal smelting company that is in between two research institutes here in Ilorin. And what I want to say is that coal smelting company is contributing a lot of emission into the environment. I don't want to mention the name of the coal iron smelting company. I don't want to mention it. And what I want to know is that, is there any sanction, is there any policy that have been implemented in Nigeria for all these company doing it forward? Now that we are talking about the carbon project, carbon policy, as the law, if the law have been implemented here in Nigeria, I think that companies should have take a strategic way of reducing the emission contributing to the environment. Thank you. That's my question. I just want to know, is there any sanction, is there any policy which has been formalized here in Nigeria for such cases?
Thank you
Hello?
so much, Mohammed. Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. I think Dr. Ibrahim had the question and will provide an answer to that. And let me go to the chat box to see something just popped up. Dr. Ibrahim, did you hear the question?
Yes, I had the question on policies, if there are policies that have been formalized in terms of sanctions for people that are contributing um, highly or greatly to greenhouse gas emission. So for this, basically, I don't want to quickly give you an answer saying yes, this is a formalized policy, because I know we are still battling even with deforestation. Most states have enacted the law of no cutting down of trees, but some of the states you see that it's not even see people going into the forest and cut down 100 trees without even planting a single tree, and as such you're causing more harm to the environment, because these are windbreakers, these are also resources to prevent erosion, to prevent carbon sequestration, a lot of stuff like that contributing more to the greenhouse emission or to climate change negatively. So I wouldn't want to tell you that there are sanctions formalized or policies formalized for such. We need to revisit some of these policies and even to check some of the documents with Federal Ministry of Environment, especially for Nigeria. So, but I'll also hand over to Nosa if he knows or the project knows about any formalized legislation or policies being enacted by the federal government against contribution or highly dense climate change or gas emission to the environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim. I think you've made justice to the question. Just like you said, it's from membership team as well. Not that we know of so much policy in Nigeria about climate change, but issue of tree planting, issue of deforestation, I think those are measures which the agribusinesses and farmers can also take to mitigate climate change, and also the policies are always continually being reviewed and something that we would also look into as well. And I hope that answers Mohammed's question. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for shedding more light into that. I want to believe that our next question will go to Echi. I don't know, Dr. Ibrahim has been asking all the old questions for now. So let's kindly unmute Ken. Ken, I hope your question, you can unmute and answer your question.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Ken Gonzalo from Malawi, and the MD of NutriCare company. I wanted to know, because I've been working with chickens before, so somebody presented about poultry. I wanted to know if there is any model that can help chickens generate carbon credit under its activities or practices. Is there any model that we can encourage us, or what do we have to do here in Malawi in order to generate carbon credit under poultry farming? Thank you so much, Ken Costa.
Thank you, Ken. I would like to let you take a step about this question.
Thank you for the question. I am not familiar with what has been put in place within Malawi in terms of carbon credits, but if you approach the department responsible for environmental protection, they should be able to tell you how far along they are with the legislation, because you first have to have legislation in place before the carbon credit transactions can be realized. And from that legislation, the guidelines will be available as to how do you document your process so that you can claim the carbon credits. So please approach your environmental authority. They will have more information for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lechi, and I hope that answers your question, Ken. So because we are working with time, we would like to take just 2 more questions or 3 at most. So let's have Lizzie. I'll take Lizzie, Abdul, and Daniel. Those are the last 3 questions we would like to take for now. So Lizzie, kindly unmute and ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon, good morning, and anywhere you are from. Now, I'm Lizzie Bine from Nigerian Women Agro-Allied Farmers. When we talk of these emissions, can it be converted into something like organic fertilizer? Can it be used elsewhere? Because we are presenting it as a problem. Can we find a solution of conversion? That's my question.
Hi, Lizzie. I'm not sure I heard your question. I'm not sure. Did anyone get a question? Can you kindly rephrase, or if from my head I could not hear what you're saying fluently, but if you can rephrase, or if our speakers heard you, they can respond to your question. think
I
it's
did not quite hear her
network.
question.
Yeah, even I'm not sure, Dr. Ibrahim,
Perhaps
are you
she
able to
can
answer the
type it.
question?
Perhaps she can type her question because I couldn't hear her.
Okay. We'll get back to you, Lizzie.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
good afternoon. I'm Daniel from Ghana. Yeah, this question is to Rechi. She was talking about eco-friendly packaging materials. And I want to ask, in Ghana and elsewhere, we are still using plastic poly bags. So I want to ask decision towards eco-friendly packaging materials.
Are still battling with basic existence. Okay, so if you, how do I put this? If you're struggling to survive, your focus is on just staying alive until tomorrow. It's difficult to then go beyond that and look at climate leap. In economy, livelihood of people, then it's possible to go beyond that and become more conscious about the environment. But what we can do, though, is away from plastics to you yourself, who is conscious of what plastic is doing to the environment. You need to start. Each person, any effort made by each one of us will make an impact. I, for one, will hardly ever use plastic. I've had reusable bags maybe for the last 10 years, and I travel with them wherever I am so that I don't impact the environment as I would before I was aware. So it is about creating awareness in people who have the capacity to make the transition. For those who don't, we need to be a little bit more patient or help the journey. So the women who have machines, or the men with machines, the bags could be made from, scrap fabric from their business, and then that one realize more money out of the waste fabric, and also reduce the carbon footprint on the environment. So there are many ways that we can do things that will help the environment. It's about an effort and being deliberate in our actions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lechi. So I just got Lizzie's question from the chat box. She was asking if we can convert the emissions into other meaningful use. I think that was what she was asking when she was speaking. Can we convert the emissions from the greenhouse gases into other meaningful use? Did you get the question, Lechi?
Yes, the first thing with the emissions is to know exactly what is being emitted. You need to know the chemical composition of what is being emitted before you can make a decision on how to utilize it. So, for example, if it's ordinary methane, then it can be burnt as a fuel. If it's something else, because some of the emissions may be poisonous if you burn. So it's first to know what are you emitting. Only from there can you make an informed decision or how to then handle the emissions. What I also need the audience to be aware of is there are certain equipment that can be installed in a factory to reduce the impact on the environment. For example, I worked at a sugar factory where when we were crushing cane, the smoke that was coming out from them would be quite black. But we then put in equipment that cleaned the emissions first before it went out. And over time, the stack was releasing almost clear smoke. It wasn't the same black that was coming out before. So those are some of the things that could be done. But there, an analysis was done as to what is being emitted, how do we curb, how do we clean what is being emitted before it goes out. So you essentially need to know first what is your emission. Thank you.
Thank you, Rechi, for that. Let's take Abdul Mumba's question. Then I'll take one or two from the chat box and we call it a day for the question and answer segments. So Abdul Mumba, kindly unmute and speak.
Thank you. This is Abdul Mumba from Zambia. I want to find out on this topic of climate adaptation, mitigation. So what I've understood so far is that the focus is on, at least part of the focus is to ensure that there is high productivity. For example, using the same piece of land, if we had inputs that were high yielding or animals that were high yielding, we are mitigating or adapting to climate change because of low emissions and effective or efficient use of resources. But what the reality is that for us to achieve that, for us to be able to have high yields, either in animals or in crops, we have in one way or another to tend to other types of ways of doing farming, such as, for example, using hybrid seeds, using fertilizers, hybridization of animals. Those types of things are what will give us that type of result. But then they also have their consequences. You see, the fertilizer issues or synthetic fertilizer, as we know, it has all those effects on the soil and all those things. So I think my question is, where do we strike the balance in an effort to mitigate and adapt to this climate change? Yes, we want to be more efficient, more use our resources wisely and all of that. But then, it's like there's a conflict, because in order for us to achieve that, we then need to tend to other ways of farming, which may not be good, for example, for the soil itself, in the case of synthetic fertilizers, or even when you talk of hybrid animals, what about the local breeds now? What happens to them if then we are moving towards just hybrid animals because we want to be more efficient and all of that? So where do we draw the line? Where exactly is the balance so that we are still achieving adaptation and mitigation, but we are doing it in a way that we are being friendly also to the soils. We are also respecting like the cultural seeds, cultural crops, and all of that. Maybe just help me understand that part, where the balance should be sitting. Because from what I've understood from Doc on the animal side, it really sounds like it's okay. We can do hybrid animals and all of that. Production will increase. Less emissions because one animal is very productive, whereas 20 will have more emissions, less productive, all of that. I think on the crop side, it's the same sort of situation where if I clear 20 hectares of land just to get, a small productivity, whereas I can use 1 hectare more efficiently. But then, yeah, so I guess you get where I'm going with this. So I'll stop there and maybe allow for a reaction.
All right, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Let me just give a brief overview on this. For fertilizers is not something we also encourage in climate smart agri system. we have the organic and inorganic fertilizers. So depending on which type of fertilizers you are actually referring to. So, but we advise farmers to actually use the biofertilizers, yeah, that has less effect in terms of greenhouse gas emission. And then for livestock, when you talk about the hybridization or using the hybrids, what happens to the local breeds? So basically, you are not abandoning the local breeds totally to move into the hybrid, no, but you can upgrade the local breeds. Take for example, in cow, in sheep, in goat, or we have systems like artificial insemination, whereby you get semen from the improved breed of animals and then inseminate into the local breeds to upgrade them up till when you get the first vital generation or F1 generation from those local breeds. Year by year, you keep upgrading these local breeds, and then you will have a system whereby these local breeds are being improved, and then they now have less emission to the environment, and they become highly prolific and highly productive animals. So it's not like you are killing or abandoning the local breeds totally. So these are some of the ways you can strike balance between climate adaptation, mitigation, and then emission to the environment. I just hope this is clear enough. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. Just before you go, please kindly react to this question on the chat box as well. My question is on the resource use efficiency, especially with precision agriculture. In most cases, precision agriculture uses machinery for it to be employed in large scale, but that automatically means the use of automatically means high use and burning of fuel, or at least that's what I noticed. How do we bridge the gap between the two so that while we are fighting for better input use, we do not contribute to greenhouse gas emissions?
Yeah,
That's
very
what
important question. Very important question. I will also like to hear the view of the second presenter on this. But in my own perspective, the high machineries or heavy machineries that we use in precision farming, for example, if you're talking of cultivating large area of land. So what we tend to look at in those machineries, we have some sophisticated machineries also that are low energy efficiency machineries that contribute just less in terms of greenhouse gas emission. So something about climate change or gas emission is the fact that we must all agree to the fact that it's not easy to totally run away from emission. But what we try to do is to adopt a type of system that will reduce the greenhouse emission to a tolerable ratio. You might not be able to combat it like totally, but you want a type of system whereby you have reduced it significantly, that it will not really have a significant impact to the ecosystem or to the landscape. So it's just for you to adopt the use of machineries that consume less energy, right? So that at the end of the day, you will have less emission to the environment, and take cognizance also of waste management. It's very important. So I think this is what I can say in terms of the use of machineries. And in precision farming, in most cases, it's not even about the machineries. In most cases, it's the use of some types of applications, either mobile or computer-based applications, that are able to give you informed decisions to take on your farm. It's not also about the heavy machineries that you deploy to the farm. So I think this is what I can say. I'll leave the second presenter also to make contribution on this so that we can have a cross-learning effect. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. Let's have your contribution, Rechi. Let's hear your opinion on this as well.
Okay. Thank you for the contributions and for the opportunity to respond. So there are tractors and there are tractors, and then there are precision tractors. So the precision tractor will give you per hectare more productivity for the same liter of fuel than the tractor that is not. So what you're looking at is what is your output per hectare for the same amount of fuel. I mean, like the people who've bought the eco-friendly cars, they use a lot less fuel than the older cars that do not have those options. So here, as the previous respondent has said, you're looking to reduce as much as possible. You're looking at what equipment do I have? Can it be improved? Can it be maintained or repaired so that it uses less and less fuel than it did before? What is it? Speak to the people who maintain the equipment or the dealership. Can this be more eco-friendly, or it's beyond redemption, as they would say? So what you're wanting to do as much as possible is review everything on your farm. Can it be made more efficient? Even your own operating procedures, can you be more efficient? I visited a seedling company many years ago, and somebody came and helped them when they assessed their process. They found that they were handling the seedling 44 times before it reached the customer. But when they reviewed their process, they were able to reduce the handling of the seedling to 11 times. So which means there's a lot less damage to the seedlings, a lot less losses. Then your system is becoming more and more efficient. So that is what you want to aim for. And as well as the inquiry from Zambia about where do we strike a balance. The more you have to buy our items away, you have to bring from elsewhere to your farm, the more you're impacting the environment. So if you can create organic fertilizer on your farm, all the better, and use that organic fertilizer on your production system. But what you want is to also get your farm to be certified organic, because then you appropriate the returns on a certified organic product. It's a premium product. It can even be exported to the high-end economies that are, that have the capability to pay for a premium product. So you don't just want to use organic fertilizers. Also have your production system certified organic so that you can reap the returns for the investment that you're making in creating your own fertilizer, reducing your carbon footprint. So it's a holistic solution that you need to aim for. It's not just one part of the equation. Understand your full value chain and also get your certification to work for you. I hope that is adequate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rechi. So just to round up the question and answer segments, I would like to ask this final question. I know lots of participants have questions to answer, but because of time, we would like to answer just one more question, and any other participant interested in getting their questions answered can reach out to the BRACE team and send an email to the most questions to the speakers and engage with the speaker on your behalf. Because of that, I think this is addressed to Rechi as well. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is to Rechi. You spoke of drought-resistant sorghum. I thought all small grains are drought-resistant. What is the difference of the sorghum from Ethiopia and the traditional drought-resistant sorghum we always add?
Okay, I'd have to go and check my where I obtained it from. I can then make it available to yourselves by Monday. So there's the full detail of of the project is available. At the moment, I don't have it.
All right, so that brings us close to the question and answer section. But before you let our speakers go, we have a tradition of always taking a photo session with our speakers so we can get the memory out of this session. So I would like to indulge all of us on this call. As I know the network is quite down, but we'd like to have our videos on just for a few minutes so we can capture this moment. So please let's turn off our videos and capture this moment. Team members, kindly confirm that you can take screenshot of this and allow our speakers leave and continue engagement with the participants. Let's put on our best smile. I can see our ambassador, Sobe. Great to have you here. So we are good to go. Let's take our team on capture. All right, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lechi. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. It's been an insightful session. So let's let our speakers go now, and we will go into the portal walkthrough and the membership drive. So kindly give me a minute to share my screen. Thank you so much for the contributions, Lechi and Dr. Ibrahim.
Thank you, and goodbye.
All right, so like I said earlier, any further questions that our participant needs to get more clarity on, you can always reach out to the Brace team. They'll be available via the Brace email or the WhatsApp groups will be addressed. Thank you to taken by me. And this aspect is just to engage our non-members to become members of the community and also benefit. This is just one of the program African food chain makers. There's a designated membership community that is open to entrepreneurs working in the agricultural landscape in Africa. So before I go to speak to purchase, we are committed to seeing entrepreneurs scale their businesses and also create the visibility they need for their business to scale. So one of the opportunities we offer to our businesses are access to the global markets. We help our entrepreneurs scale and also strengthen their business. We prepare our new African market and global markets. This we do to our programs on exporting, creating the market linkages they need. And we would like to announce shortly that we should keep tab on our scaling export program. So we would like other entrepreneurs who are here to benefit from the scaling export program to keep in touch, as any moment from now or before the close of 2024, we would also have that program implemented. So keep tabs and keep watch on that as well. We also offer entrepreneurs referrals to funding opportunities, to speaking opportunities, and to exhibition opportunities. And speaking of exhibition opportunities, our entrepreneurs should always look out for their emails, as we will start popping up with a lot of entrepreneurs products in the global stage and within Africa as well. Opportunities lined up before the close of this year, and we would like our entrepreneurs to can as well. We also have asset revival community of members, which I already made emphasis on. Our membership community is open to entrepreneurs across Africa. We have the social media membership group, the WhatsApp group, the Telegram group, and also a designated membership dashboard where you can always look out for other entrepreneurs and connect and chat and engage with other entrepreneurs in the African space. We also have a global market linkages as well. Through our programs, we engage our entrepreneurs to learn some global digital, so that capital markets and some other markets where they can exhibit their product, where they can showcase their product as well. We enhance the visibility of our entrepreneurs through social media engagement of selected businesses. Within our membership community, we also have a session which we call the Instagram Live Showcase, which is 5 minutes interview session with our entrepreneurs about the opportunities we have, to know about our product, to know about our food space as well. And this is a way of showcasing the product to the external audience. Give our entrepreneurs exclusive access to networking events, and we have a designated resource hub where our entrepreneurs can look out for funding opportunities, expand their capacity, and grow their agribusinesses to a sustainable level. And I've talked about how community. I will talk to how we can join the community for our non-members who are on this call. So the first thing you do is to visit the hub, www.afchub.org, and you navigate to the community page where you can just click on the login or join the community. The login icon is for already existing members who are bona fide members of AFC community. They can log into their dashboard and continue engagement and look out for opportunities that we offer to the membership dashboard. But just to click on the join the community icon. Once you click on, you'll be directed to a page where you'll be asked few questions about your business and your personal, where your business is located, and some few complete details like your CSC documents, your websites, and some other questions as well. Ensure that you click on the submit button at the end of the page where you answer your questions. Once you've done that, you'll be able to access your dashboard temporarily. I said temporarily because you will not have full access to your dashboard until you complete your membership information, such as other details within your company and your personal profile. The reason why we made it temporarily accessible because waiting time for you to answer your questions, so you can further complete your registration after you've even signed up temporarily. So once you've been able to complete your information through the settings page, we will be notified by the members, by the admin head, to confirm your email, to confirm your registration rather. And when we confirm your registration, confirming your registration means that you information that you're supposed to input in your company details and your personal details as well. And you can only do this when you have navigated to your settings bar in your membership dashboard. Remember, I said you have temporary access to some of the membership benefits we offer because you have not yet been verified. But for it to be verified, you have to complete your information. So you navigate to your settings bar in the temporary dashboard you have and complete your necessary information and necessary fields which you need to input. Once you have done that, we will be notified from our end that this particular user has updated their profile. And when we get that notification, we would confirm your registration. So you might you might register as a member, but not yet a member. And in your own mind, you will feel like you're in the community. No, you are not in the community until you complete your membership questions and membership information. So once you've done that, you cannot certify that you're a member of the community, and you'll be added to the membership group, the WhatsApp group, and you receive our regular membership newsletters. So once you do that, you're already a bona fide member, and this is always in 24. It takes 24 to also confirm your hymn. So you have to check well. And once you do that, you're already a bona fide member. Now we just request for 3 criteria for you to become a member of AFC. One is that you own an agribusiness or you act as a top management for your agribusiness. That the agribusiness which you work in must be in existence for at least 6 months prior to when you sign up to be a member. The third, which is not a necessity, which is not mandatory, but is a necessity for you to become a member of AFC, is the social media presence sets. This is in line with our visibility mission for our entrepreneurs, because we want to always scale our entrepreneurs' business. And one way we do that is through creating the visibility they need or improving their visibility for them. So that is the 3 criteria we request for you to become a member of AFC. Having said this, I would like to also inform you that we have a designated membership marketplace. In case
Good afternoon, all. Sorry about I just got kicked out by his network, so I will take it up from here. But however, I'll be very, very unable to share my screen due to the network challenges we are currently experiencing. So the last but not the least benefit for the membership community is the membership
apologies for
marketplace.
that.
Here you get to showcase your products on the hub. So once you become a member, one of the benefits you are achieving, one of the benefits you find is a marketplace. There you upload your products, different products, and when you have buyers, membership community in exchange, you can also reach out to you in return. Should in case they are not reach out to you marketplace, we can also you on their behalf. Please confirm if you're on the call to take the participant through the portals walkthrough. Okay, I will take the portals walkthrough, but for that I would need to share my screen. So you can give me few minutes to share my screen, and while that is ongoing, I would like to introduce us to the top scholars for week 1 and week 2. Week 1 and week 2 because we are unable to do that of week 1. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, G-Praise, we can hear you. Also, can you see the screen?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I can. Thank you very much. So for week 1, let's give a virtual clap and celebrate our top scholars for week 1. We were not able to celebrate them last week due to time constraints. So I would like to see a virtual clap or any emoji indicating that you are excited and you appreciate their hard work and their tenacity towards the course of this program. Give our best emoji on the, for those of you asking questions, just give me a moment and I will respond to. For now, let's celebrate those who came out as top scholars. It was not easy, and I'm sure they will agree with me that they went through a series of candle burning to get to where they are today. So for week 1, we have Ajayi O Idris. He's from Nigeria. We have Nancy Vera Audu. She's from Ghana. We have Ezekiel Bulos Duka. He's from Nigeria. We have Francis Doya. He's from Kenya. We have Samuel Kwason Bohen. He's from, I'm so sorry if I'm murdering you, Larion Aboy. In we have Akin Onyoroida Collins. He's from Nigeria. We have Austin Benza. He's from Republic Democratic of Congo. We have Steve Oriongo. He's from Kenya. We have Ake Demola. He's from Nigeria. We have Aderi Berukayat. She's from Nigeria. We have Fred Ayoma Nakwanka. He's from Kenya. And we have Samuel Namanya. He's from Uganda. We have Eunice Kimani. She's from Kenya. And we have Bewa Kesa. She's from Zambia. And we have Doreen Naziwa from Uganda. I think the Kenyan brethren have it this time around because I can see so many Kenya on the chat group. Can we please put a round of applause for a virtual hand of applause for these exceptional candidates who made it through the top scholars for week 1. And heading on to the top scholars for week 2, we have Oluwaseun Peter Adeyemi. He's from Nigeria. We have Teko Temanga. I think I saw him during the live interactive session. He's from South Africa. We have, please let's keep up the emojis going because it's not easy. We have Jumai Victor Teller. She's from Nigeria. We have Douglas Mabangwe. He's from Malawi. We have Mohammed Malam Mohammed. He's from Nigeria. We have Ahmed Dini Aliu. He's from the Bonti. We have Shakira Chimfipo. She's from Malawi. We have Silva. He's from Uganda. We have Kali Shaibu Musa. He's from Nigeria. We have Issa Buguna. He's from Mali. We have Okiki Christopher. So once again, let's put a virtual round of applause for these exceptional candidates who have taken their time to go through this session and came out as top scholars. So for those asking for criteria for being a top scholar, first of all, you have to finish your modules. So for week 1, you have to finish week 1 module. Since the syllabus week, so these people are not top scholars for all the weeks. They are just top scholars for either week 1 or week 2. So one of them is for you to finish your current module for the week. Finish the module for the week. The second one is to take your assessment, your assignment, and most importantly, join the live interactive session. As you can see, the live interactive session enable you to have one-on-one interaction with the trainers and the facilitators in this field. They have the expert knowledge to answer your questions, whichever question you have. And while attending the live interactive session, please join the live interactive session using your original name, your official name. So I see a lot of people using iPhone. I see people using iPhone. I see people using Techno. That's not your official name. So when we are cross-checking to find out whether you actually attended the live interactive session, we will not be able to know who you are because you did not use your name. So moving on to the next activity. Okay, my apologies, I forgot to recognize somebody. His name is Xavier Jeremy. He came out as top scholar for week 2. I'm so sorry for omitting your name, and congratulations to everyone who have attended this session. So down to portal walkthrough, I would like to share my screen to put you through this aspect. Please give me a moment to share my screen. Bushra, can you please stop sharing your screen so I can share my screen? Kindly indicate if you can see my screen. Please, can you see my screen?
Not yet. We can't.
Oh, okay.
That's why we are waiting your screen coming up. I think we can
Okay.
just. It's not coming up yet. Maybe we should take questions regarding portal usage while we are waiting for the screen to come up.
Okay. Please, you can indicate by raising up your hand if you have questions regarding the portal usage.
Okay, G-Praise, we have some hands up.
Okay, please kindly unmute and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, yes. Good evening from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. So as regards the live interactive session, I cannot remember saying that I've finished module 1 and I'm on 2. I answered the questions, the discussion questions, but I didn't see that and the comments. That's all I saw there. So kindly clarify how to navigate that one.
if I get you correctly, are you asking about the assignment assessment? Because I heard you say live
The
interactive.
live interactive session aspect. How to
Okay.
I don't think I
Okay.
noticed that even in module 1.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So this session is called the live interactive session. We call it LIS for short. So this is what we are doing right now, where the facilitators and trainers come to educate us and answer our question, is called the live interactive session. So this is the session we are talking about. You need to attend this session. And since you are currently here, that means you are on track or in track. So I don't know if I answered your question correctly. Hello, are you there?
Yes, yes. This is my third session then.
Okay.
I'm fine, thank you. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for asking. Okay, Rachel, you have a question. Kindly unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very much. I started very well. I was about finishing module 1. Then I clicked, nothing opened. But the other week I was in a community, so I missed it. The second time, I sent my apologies. I joined very late when they were trying to wind up. So I've not been able to do my assignment. If I click, it will not open. And the last bit of session 1, I was unable to do it. So I don't know how we navigate through the portal.
Okay, I think we'll answer your question during the portal walkthrough. Is that okay?
It's okay, it's okay.
All right, thank you very much, Rachel. So we move on to the next person. Anita, listen, you can ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon. I've been trying to log in to the portal to start my course, but somehow it keeps throwing me out, telling me that maybe you don't have the details. Fill in my details, it keeps logging me out. So how do I navigate that?
Oh, so sorry about that, Anita. I would like to ask a follow-up question. Have you logged into the portal before at any point in time? Were you able to access your portal?
Yes, I was in the brace. I've done brace before. That's the
brace before,
cohort.
as in first cohort or second cohort?
I think there was a cohort. I think a first cohort.
Oh, you did the first cohort. So I want to assume that the login details you are using to access it will be the login details for the previous cohort.
No,
so
I use. Can I come in?
Yes, please.
I use another email and my name, my English name this time around, because it was like telling me it wasn't really allowing me to log in initially. So I had to use another my another email and my English name this time around than my local name. So I don't know what the problem is at the moment. So I can rectify the issue. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, so sorry once again about that. So what we can do is you can chat either Patience, Bushra, Nosta, Gloria Praise on the WhatsApp group. Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, the participant group.
Okay, so please chat any one of us, and then we would be able to share with you your actual login details. So because what I can get from this is that you might not be using the actual login details. So reach out to any of us and we'll take it up from there, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Anita. Rukayat, please unmute and ask your question. Rukayat, kindly unmute and ask your question. Okay, while Rukayat is doing that, can we take questions from Issa? Team members, kindly assist. Rukayat, you've been asked to unmute. Issa, you've also been asked to unmute.
Yes, I have a question about the courses.
Okay.
I want to want to download PDF 5 for courses 1, 2, and 3. I cannot download the PDF 5. Okay, can you help me to download them?
Okay, so if I get it correctly, you want the PDF copy of
Copy, by all courses. Yes, by all courses.
Sorry?
Yes, that's my question.
Okay, so we've sent the PDF copy to the WhatsApp group. Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Okay, yes, I'm on my WhatsApp group, yes.
Okay, but we can always reshare to you. And if you don't get it, I think I've chatted with you before. If you don't get it, please reach out to me again before
yes, I'll be very happy.
Okay, thank you very much, Isa. Rukaya, can we take you now?
Okay, thank you.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay,
Yes, we can.
So
please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. My issue is that I've been trying to download the extra resources for learning on the portal, and it's not actually downloaded. And I don't know if that will affect my my lessons. I'm so scared because I don't know why I could not download. That's the only issue I'm having on the portal. Like the module 1 and module 2, I don't have any extra resources to hold on to after the module, and it's really bothering me. Please assist.
Okay, so sorry about that. So I don't want to attribute that to your network, but I would like us to try it here. Can you see my screen to see if that is possible?
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, so one way you could also click on this page. I'm so scared of clicking on it so that my network will not take me to a place where we don't know. So okay, I would just explain verbally, and I hope you understand. So you can click on this link. If you click on this link, it will take you directly to the YouTube page of this particular material. So if you take you to that YouTube page, if you hover around the corner of beneath the video on the YouTube page, you will see a feature for you to download. You see an icon for you to download, like a regular YouTube video. Then other than that, that's if it's not a video, if it's just a PDF material, you can come here and download. You can click on this. Can you see where my cursor is?
Yeah, it's not working on my side. I don't know why.
Okay, another thing I can do is for you to reach out to me to share with you the downloaded copy.
Oh, okay, ma'am. That's on WhatsApp, right?
Yes, on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'm on the WhatsApp, but I don't know if we are in the same group.
Yes, we are on the same group. You can reach out to me or any of the admin to help you out with that.
Okay, I will try the YouTube download, then I will reach out to you. I want to do it.
Okay, all right then.
So much.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another question for Ebonwachi O. Jacobs. Please unmute to ask your question.
All right, thank you very much. I want to ask, is there a difference between the assessments and the assignments? I keep hearing of assessments and assignments. Are they different? I know I've done 2 assessments. I have not seen any assignments.
Okay.
I've only
so
seen
if you've not,
assessments.
can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so if you've not seen your assignments, it's there. Can you, if you can see my screen, there's a part for assessment, part for assignment. Assessment is where you are graded. So you take, is more or less like an exam. You take the questions based on the focus of the week. You take the questions from that week, and then you are being graded immediately. Assignment, you are not being graded. It's just questions concerning your experience in the field related to climate change and other things.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay, so it's there. It's just maybe just
Maybe
here.
I
Can you
must,
see my cursor?
Yes, I can see it now. All right, thank you. I can see it now.
Okay, okay then. All right, thank you. Innocent Oyeka, you can unmute and ask your question.
All right, thank you so much. Great evening. from here. I'm Onyeka Innocent from Anambra State, Nigeria.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, just I have the same issue that you have addressed about downloading the PDF. But basically, the main issue I'm having now is joining the WhatsApp group, because whenever I click on the link, it directs me to download under WhatsApp while I use a WhatsApp business. So I don't know what to do to get into the group without downloading under WhatsApp, because I have already a WhatsApp already.
Okay, what I'm doing right now is to send my personal contact, my WhatsApp contact with you. Please chat me up on the WhatsApp so I can share the link for you to join the WhatsApp group. Is that okay? Is that okay, Innocent? Okay, that's been addressed. We'll move to Emily's iPhone. So this is one of the things I spoke about. Kindly change your name to your official name, so we'll be able to identify you should in case you turn up as a top scholar for any week.
All right.
Thank you. Please
Right.
go ahead.